All right, so I'm gonna do a quick update. I always say that, and my messages end up being so long. I know this is nothing exciting to look at. I'm in bed. Um, Group tonight was really hard. Whoa, Nilly. We talked about um trust and safety. Yeah, which like are two concepts that like don't even like make sense to me. People are like trust and safety. I'm like, what? How you say that? I don't even know what that word means. I don't know what either of those words mean. I can't even spell those words. It's so far out of my lexicon. I'll tell you what. Um, and it was really difficult. We had to do this one like this one exercise where we'd sit down and like two people volunteered to sit down and there was a question you had to pick out of a basket and um we had to ask the other person the question and they had to answer it and well, they didn't have to, but if they decided it was one that they really didn't want to have asked, but everyone answered their question. Mine, thankfully, was a really easy one. Mine was, how do you know if somebody trusts you? So thankfully, I wasn't hit with one of the really hard ones, like, who's someone who violated your trust? And, oh, Jesus, like, kill me. It was really hard. It was, I mean, a lot harder than I anticipated. I think it was a lot that group tonight was a lot harder than any of us anticipated. At the same time, though, there was something cool about this, and this is notable. Um, that okay, I'll start by saying like the group that I'm in is very diverse, um, and it's 12 people, I think, and we're all like totally different backgrounds, right? Um, Yet someone would start talking about how like feeling safe, like or trusting people, or like how those concepts don't make any sense. And the rest of us were all like, "Yup, yep, totally, totally know what you're talking about." Um, it was brought up that someone said, I know I know what I stand to lose when I trust someone, but what am I gaining when I'm trusting someone? And all of us laughed because all of us think the same thing. It's like, what do you gain by trusting? I mean, really. Um, and it's trust actually truly trusting someone is such a foreign concept. And I was talking about my own experience that um, it scares me how easily trust is thrown around for me. Which is to say, let me clarify. I'm tired. I don't think I'm making much sense. Um, it takes me a long time to trust someone, like a super long time, to decide that I'm going to trust someone. And then when I do, it takes one infraction. I mean, one. And it doesn't matter if it's real or if it's perceived. If I think that someone has, or if, I'm sorry, if I feel that someone has betrayed my trust in some way, that's it. I don't trust them again, ever. Um, which isn't to say that I don't interact with them. I just don't trust them. I feel like I can rely on them. So in effect, I don't trust anyone. And that's what it comes down to. Um, and I had an old therapist ask me once. This is old therapist who didn't know what the hell she was talking about from like I don't know a long time ago. And she's like, "Well, how can you love someone if you don't trust them?" I was like, "What the fuck does that even mean? Like, what do you mean? How can I trust? How can I love someone if I don't trust them? Like, absolutely I can. There's plenty of people I love. I love dearly. Um, do I trust them with my secrets? No. Do I trust them to, like, I don't know, throw down for me if the shit hits the fan. No. Um, if they do, sweet, pleasant surprise. But like, I don't even like. I don't know. I don't like having to rely on other people because I always feel let down, and I don't trust people to do what they say they're going to do, and I don't trust people to keep me safe or, um, know what kind of environment, know what I need, or to, you know, to be in an environment that's safe. Like none of those things make sense to me. That's not, and I'm always convinced that people are lying to me too. Um, or they just don't, or they're not telling me like the full truth, or they intend to tell the truth. They intend to tell me something that they believe is true, but you know, yeah, I'll be there at 6 o'clock. Yeah, and then they're not, and it's everything. Um, which I'm not the most timely person either, so you know, that's not something I should be even trying to discuss. But um, I don't know. Group was hard. Group was very hard. Group was also really awesome in that I I walked away, and I think this is the first time that I haven't felt crazy. Like I don't feel crazy anymore because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all these people from all these different backgrounds of all different ages, and yet we're sitting there sharing this common experience, and I'm not just talking like common experience like I was raped and I was molested and I had a shitty childhood and now and now I have a hard time coping. I mean, I'm not talking about like the basic shit. I'm talking about like this one girl. She's like, I have no boundaries, and all of us were like, Psh, what the fuck are boundaries? We don't have those either, you know. And someone else is saying like, I keep going back to the same like attracting the same kind of men that I shouldn't be around, because they're just not good for me. And all of us were like, yeah, duh, because we all do the same thing. The way that we treat other people, the way we treat our partners, the way we treat our friends and our family, the reactions we have to things that people say, the walls that we build up, and then in the moments that we do get, where we let people in too close without having any discretion, like those are all really, they're all these like really common experiences that I had never really understood before. Um, when people would say, okay, hey, go to this group and you'll find that, there's a lot of commonality there. And I really thought it was commonality is, the X, Y, and Z, like the meat and bones of, um, you were sexually abused, you were a little kid, shit sucked. Now we, deal with it in different ways. We all have coping mechanisms, whatever. Like, I thought that was just really where it ended. But it is so more intricate than that. Um, I'm sorry, it is so much more intricate than that. It literally comes down to like having the same kinds of discussions or the same kind of reactions to when people say certain things. Being able to feel emotion, not being able to feel emotion, this whole sort of thing. Um, so it was emotionally probably one of the most difficult days I've ever had through this whole therapy thing, with awesome therapists this morning and then group this evening. That being said, I walked away from that group and I feel like I'm not crazy. I just have this common experience that other people seem to have, and we all seem to have the same reactions to it. And that's cool because now I don't feel as alone. So, I'm gonna leave you with that. That was my group tonight. One more thing bothers me. Bring this up real quick. From the moment people walk into that room to the moment they leave, everyone's crying. Every single person, with the exception of yours truly, who cannot manage to find any emotion at all. I cannot pull a single emotion into this process. And I'm not talking about just group. When it comes to therapy at all. There was one time back in March, no, May, back in May, when it first started to get warm. I was really, really uncomfortable with my body. And summer's a really, really triggering time for me. And I walked into therapy, and my therapist was like, "What's going on?" She could tell by the look on my face. And I got really, really teary-eyed. Um, and I was just like, I hate myself. And I'm just so uncomfortable in my own skin. And I just can't handle this. I can't handle myself. And I was starting to cry then, and then I pulled myself together. It has been 10 months, 10 and a half, almost 11 months. It's crazy to think, since I started therapy. And I have gotten teary-eyed once. Which is not to say I haven't put the work in. It's not to say that I haven't been listening or trying or um, actually like really digging in deep and trying to, like doing things I don't want to do, even though, I don't want to do them, but my therapists have asked me to try them, and I have. Um, writing exercises and stuff like that. And um, I don't want to do them, but I do them anyway, and I do them wholeheartedly. And I'm really sitting here trying this process for real, and yet I cannot access any emotion. People cry in there all night long. Everyone's so angry, and I'm like, I don't, I don't think I've been angry once my entire life. I mean, I get pissed off sometimes, like I get frustrated, right? But that's not mad. You don't get mad. I don't even understand why these people are mad. Like it doesn't compute to me. So that frustrates me because I don't know. Like I'm some like emotionally cut off. I mean, I'm not like that in the rest of my life. I watch like TV, and the freaking Verizon commercial comes on where the little boy is trying to find, or the little girl was like trying to find her dog, and like the teenage boy, the college boy, like goes and finds the dog and brings it back to her house, and I'm like crying like an idiot. I cry over like Kodak commercials, but when it comes to this trauma therapy shit, like access denied, maintain radio silence. It's weird, pisses me off. And now this video is just over 13 minutes long, which is way too long. So, um, I'll upload all this at some point. So, you guys have a good night.